Oh, what a weekend for the Yankees. Gatorade, all in the name of walk-offs. First, DJ LeMahieu. Yesterday, it was a Ford Fiesta. Yankees just keep winning. And now, it is time for baseball, as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Texas Rangers in the first game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with John Flaherty, I'm Michael Kay. The start of this game delayed by about 3 hours, but we are going to have baseball. That's the good news. The better news is how the Yankees have been playing of late. Yesterday, looked like they were going to lose that game. Looked like it'd be the first time they're shut out in over a year, but it didn't work out that way. They were down 4-0 and came back big.
Yeah, when you're down 4-0, you're telling yourselves in that dugout, let's just chip away. It's exactly what they did in the eighth inning. Gleyber Torres, a sacrifice fly to center field, and the Yankees are on the board. An important play, Aaron Judge getting the second base on that fly ball. Didi Gregorius comes back. He lines a base hit up the middle. 4-3, the Yanks are trailing, but that didn't last long. Brett Gardner leading off the ninth inning, got himself in a fastball count and drills his 19th home run of the year. And then Mike Ford, the pinch hitter that was set up there by Aaron Boone, he gets a fastball from Hendricks. He does the bat flip, and he has a walk-off home run for a very exciting comeback win for the New York Yankees.
Well, the Yankees try to make it 3 in a row. The pitching matchup today brought to you by People's United Bank. Mike Minor's having a really good year, 11-8, 3.25. Masahiro Tanaka, 10-7, 4.47. He's been pitching well of late. His last start against Seattle, he was really dealing.
Well, you're right. He's really getting hot at the right time. In his last start against the Mariners, he had it all going. 7 shutout innings against Seattle, only gave up 3 hits. The slider has been the weapon that has been there all year. But that pitch there, the split finger, is starting to get better during the summer months. Tanaka, who was locked in against Seattle, 7 shutout innings, picks up the victory, and a lot of reasons to smile.
Well, this weekend's been a reason to smile, and we're going to turn this into Belabor Day. We're going to look at it again. All the big things that happened on Saturday and Sunday. Meredith Marakovitz has more right here on Yes. Ball on Yes is brought to you in part by Harley-Davidson. Experience more thrills at h-d.com. By Papa John's, get any large pizza with any toppings for just $12. And by Buick, experience the new Buick for yourself. Well, on top of the Gatorade around home plate, there was a lot of rain as well. So it was raining for most of the morning and most of the early afternoon. So we'll start off with the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 75 degrees, 8 miles per hour is the wind. Humidity is 68%. And there is some possible showers in the forecast. It's cloudy right now. The lights are on. But we will play baseball, which is better than we thought a couple of hours ago. It was coming down pretty hard here at the ballpark. So it's Labor Day. It's been a good weekend for the Yankees after they lost Friday to the Athletics. They came back and they won Saturday, and then they won Sunday as well. And, you know, you wonder, John, about games having a carryover effect, but I don't know how you can feel good about yourself and not feel better the next day as well. That's a good win, good team win yesterday for the Yanks.
Well, a great win when you're down 4-0 with only 6 offensive outs left. And I love the way the Yankees grinded it in the 8th inning to get themselves in a position to win it in the 9th. And we talked about it yesterday. I mean, the Mike Ford story is one of those stories that we're going to remember from this year, getting an opportunity, making the most of it, and then an exciting walk-off home run for him yesterday.
I mean, there are so many poster children for the Yankees with the next man up movement, and that's exactly what this is. You've got Mike Tauchman, you've got a guy like Mike Ford. They were not in the Yankee plans this year, and Mike Ford has hit 10 home runs, and none bigger than the one yesterday. And you have to feel good for a guy. 7 minor league seasons. He played 630 games in the minor leagues and had 2,222 at-bats. And as Aaron Boone always likes to say, he gives you a good quality at bat. That's we sent him up as a pinch hitter. We knew we'd get that. So he was down on the count, worked it to 3-2. And this guy's got power. This is not an accident, John. He can hit. His minor league numbers have always shown he can hit.
Yeah, the minor league numbers are real, and the quality of the at-bats that Aaron was talking about after the game have been there since day one for Mike Ford. And the results might not have been there. The batting average a little low. But all of a sudden, when he found his stride and the power strokes showed up, nobody better coming off the bench to give you a quality at bat with some pop.
And there's still some people coming back, and you wonder what the roster is going to look like when they go into October. It's a good problem to have, but you're going to have to leave people that really played a big role in the Yankees getting to this point at 90 wins, best record in baseball. They're not going to be able to fit onto a 25-man roster. You know what Aaron Boone said? I hope we have that problem. And Edwin Encarnacion, it was reported by Connor Foley, who covers the Rail Riders in Scranton, that Edwin Encarnacion just left the clubhouse, said, I've done all I could do here. I'm ready to play. So he's headed back to New York.
2 days, two games.
Yep.
Nice.
So we'll see if he's here for tomorrow, or maybe he shows up at some point for this game. Let's take a look at the Texas Rangers starting lineup, which is brought to you by Lexus. And the Rangers have their DH Shin-Soo Choo leading off. It's Elvis Andrus playing shortstop, batting second. Hitting third, the left fielder Willie Calhoun. Omar Mazara in right field cleans up. Batting fifth, third baseman Danny Santana. Rougned Odor is second base with bat sixth. Batting seventh, playing first base Ronald Guzman. Delino DeShields is in center field. He's going to bat eighth. And batting ninth and catching, it's Jose Trevino.
Well, that lineup for the Texas Rangers going to face the veteran right-hander Masahiro Tanaka. In the middle of his warm-up tosses, 28 start, won his 10th game his last time out against Seattle, and the ERA at 4.47. Take a look at our pitcher scouting report, which is brought to you by your local Honda dealers. And Tanaka getting hot at the right time. His last 4 starts, a 3-1 record with a 2.3 ERA. And a big reason why the improved split finger. His last 10 starts, opponents hitting .217 with no home runs against that pitch. So it's given him a 3-pitch mix. And he's just done a fantastic job at pounding the strike zone. First pitch strikes 68.7% of the time. That's the highest in the American League.
Let's take a look at the Yankees defense that will be behind Tanaka, and it's presented by Geico as always. Clint Frazier's going to get a turn in left field tonight, and then it's Mike Tauchman in center. Judge is over and right. Brett Gardner has a day off. Maven's still bothered by that sore left wrist. In the infield, LeMahieu's at third, Torres at short, Didi Gregorius just a day off against the left-hander. Wade at second, Luke Voigt's at first. The DH is Mike Ford. Behind the plate, Gary Sanchez, and on the mound is Masahiro Tanaka. So the beginning of a 3-game set. Thursday, the Yankees are off. Then they start a very long road trip. 4 in Boston, 3 in Detroit, and 3 in Toronto. So they hit the road again. Yankees are 90-48, season high 42 games over. And the Rangers are 67-71. They had a good first half. They've tailed off since the All-Star break. Choo is ready. Tanaka is ready. Let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is upstairs. We're underway. Chris Siegel, the home plate umpire. Eric Cooper at first. Will Little is at second. And the veteran crew chief, Joe West, is at third. This was the crew for Sunday Night Baseball last night in Philadelphia. 1-1. Rain delay officially. The start of the game was delayed 2 hours and 57 minutes. 2:57.
Now the sun is out. This is what Labor Day is supposed to look like.
Fire up the barbecue. They're just in case. That's a just in case umbrella. Or maybe that's for the sun now. 2-1. Texas has won 3 of its last 5, but again, the second half has not been good to them. Line drive, and the defense played perfectly as Torres makes the play.
Well, Choo coming into this game was 1 for his last 16. He hits this ball hard, but right at Gleyber Torres, and looked like that had a little spin on it. Torres able to make the play.
I wonder, John, the pitchers that get upset when there's a shift and the guy goes against the shift and hits one into the vacated hole, if they take note of when the shift takes hits away.
You take a note of it, but you don't even think about it, right? You really beat yourself up and everybody else about the ones that find a hole when somebody should have been standing there.
Here's Elvis Andrus. And there's a strike from Tanaka.
Well, we've already detailed the numbers from Tanaka's start his last time out against Seattle. 7 shutout. Seattle not an offensive juggernaut. We'll see how he matches up against Texas, who swing the bats a little bit, not quite what you think of with your old Texas Ranger teams.
decent numbers against Tanaka for sure. 5 for 14, 2 doubles, 4 runs batted in.
On the scanner report, I talked about the split finger fastball for Tanaka. It's kind of coming back into play now, and it might not be the big swing and miss pitch that he had in the past, but getting a lot of ground balls and soft contact.
Last 10 starts against the splitter, 217, so it certainly has gotten better. And the effectiveness of the splitter seems to date back to when Larry Rothschild worked with Tanaka. The seams are different on this year's baseball, and it was hard for him to throw it on the seams. So now his fingers are not on seams, and it's hard for a guy like Tanaka, who's become a very, very good pitcher, pitching the way he's pitched, to change things up, but he was open-minded to do it.
Yeah, he probably gave it enough time to see if it would just kind of come back on its own, and once he realized it was not.
Grounded and under the glove of LeMahieu into left field for a base hit. So that was a hot shot that LeMahieu would want to make. Probably tell you he should make, but it was hit very hard. We'll see how they score it.
We'll see the first step in the reaction, maybe kind of caught in between a little bit as he hesitates and has that little shuffle step right underneath his glove. It's going to be ruled a base hit. Like you said, it was hit hard.
So here's Willie Calhoun. And a strike.
Well, getting back to that split finger for Tanaka, changed the grip on it a little bit, found one that works, and also was moving on the pitcher's mound to kind of find the right angle, and whatever he's done, it's worked. See, Calhoun's number was the player of the month in August when he hit 10 home runs for the Rangers.
Oh, and 2. So with 2 strikes, LeMahieu moves from the left side of the infield to the right side. One and 2.
Well, we'll pay attention to the running game for the Rangers. 105 stolen bases for their club this year, leads the major leagues. That man right there has 27 of them.
So 3 of the 5 teams that have a lot of stolen bases are not in contention. Runs contrary to the way the game is supposed to be played now. And if you're going to steal a lot of bases the way the thought process goes, you better make it. You can't get caught a lot, because if you're under a certain percent, like 78%, it just doesn't make sense to steal the bases.
Well, Andrus at first has 27. He's been thrown out 6 times. New manager of the Texas Rangers, Chris Woodward.
Ripped down the right field line. That ball is going to be off the wall. Played out there by Judge. He's going to hold Calhoun to a single. Moving to third is Andrus, and that missed a home run by a couple of feet.
You mentioned how hot Calhoun was during the month of August. 10 home runs his last 13 games, and gets underneath this one, and with the short porch in right field, the only question, would it have the distance off the wall? And again, Aaron Judge plays it just beautifully. It's the right angle, second hop, and a seed to second base.
Well, the double play still in order as Mazara digs in. First and third, 1 man out, just underway. A 2-hour and 57-minute delay at the start. was on the IL from August 20th through the 31st with left oblique tightness. So they caught it before it became a pull. Obviously, when Judge had it, it was a pull. It lasted a long time, but they IL'd him when he felt tightness before it pulled. Judge never felt tightness, it just pulled on a swing. Told you about the stolen bases for Texas, 105. That's best in the majors, but they're only 7th in stolen base percentage, which is 76.1%, which is not that bad. Actually, still pretty good. And the game is run through analytics now, and the negative run value of getting caught is about twice as high as the benefit from being safe. That's why you've seen the stolen base pretty much analyzed out of the game. One and one.
A good split right there from Tanaka to get the swing and a miss. And that last start against Seattle was pretty much clear sailing in that game. Only gave up 3 hits. Good look at the grip. Spin and rotation on the baseball. Good movement down.
Driven out to left field. Frazier's there, he'll make the catch. Tagging is Andrus, he's going to score. The throw comes to second. It's a sac fly for Mazara, and the Rangers on the board. They lead 1-0. And that'll bring up Danny Santana. Swing and a miss.
Well, Santana, one of the feel-good stories this year for the Rangers with his 24 home runs, 63 RBIs. An infielder and an outfielder who's playing third base today.
One and one. Foul back to the screen, 1 and 2. In the second half of the season, the Rangers are 19 and 29. They were 48 and 42 at the All-Star break. And they have been bad on the road. 27 and 42 away from Arlington. Ground ball, LeMahieu. Thought about second, nobody was there. Fires to first, they get Santana, and that will do it. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 man left. It's the Rangers 1 and the New York Yankees come to you by Lexus. DJ LeMahieu at third base leads off, batting second. The right fielder, Aaron Judge. Gleyber Torres, the shortstop, will bat third. Cleaning up, the catcher, Gary Sanchez. Mike Ford, the hero from yesterday, he'll DH and bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing first base, Luke Voigt. Mike Tauchman in center field will bat seventh. Batting eighth, the left fielder Clint Frazier, and Tyler Wade at second base will bat ninth.
Well, manager Aaron Boone going to send that lineup out today against the left-hander Mike Minor, who's having a very nice year. Take a look at his numbers. 28 start, 11-8 record, the 3.25 ERA. We'll check out our pitcher scouting report which is brought to you by your local Honda dealers. And the fastball on the radar gun might show 92, 93, but it plays up a little bit because he's got the highest spin rate in Major League Baseball. And he had a rough July, an ERA at 6.59, was involved in a lot of trade rumors, maybe that bothered him a little bit, and he's a better pitcher on the road than he is in Texas with a 2.87 ERA.
Yeah, it seemed like his name was in every trade rumor, but the Rangers decided to hold on to him. He's in the second year of a 3-year deal that will pay $28 million total, so they have him at a good number. And they're moving into a new ballpark next year, so they're trying to have as competitive a team as possible. Skied the other way and out of play. How about that, John? They built a new ballpark after this ballpark was just 25 years old.
When I think of the Texas Rangers, I think of that ballpark in Arlington, and one of the greatest Major League stadiums to hit in. The ball flies there. It's always warm. And if you look at Minor's numbers on the year, to put up those type of numbers pitching in Arlington, it's pretty impressive.
And one of the big reasons for the move, it's so hot there, and I think that heat has affected them throughout the years, that this is a retractable roof. So in terms of really, really hot weather, they can close the roof and have air conditioning. And they're also building a theme area around it. So it's going to be Texas Rangers Village pretty much. 2-1. That's off of Minor. He finds it, fires the first, got him. Let's see if he's okay. LeMahieu hit it hard up the middle and hit Minor. Let's take a look at the defense. They're going to check on Minor, and it's presented by Geico. You've got Calhoun in left, DeShields in center, and Mazzara in right. Infield, Santana, Andrus, Odor, and Guzman. That's third to first. Trevino behind the plate. Mike Minor's on the mound.
Well, we'll take another look. The line drive, and we'll see where it gets him. Right off the backside. DJ LeMahieu's thinking just get out of the way. He hustles it up and finishes off the play. I would think if you're going to get hit, that's the spot you want to get hit at, but a lengthy discussion out on the mound.
Maybe it was a little bit higher than the optimum spot, and you wonder how much of the back or the spine he got, but he's going to stay in. Here's Aaron Judge. 19 homers for Judge. Check swing, grounded foul. Judge against left-handed pitching this year, hitting .360 and 7 of his 19 home runs.
Well, Aaron Judge just saw a first pitch changeup from Minor. It's his best off-speed pitch. And again, 92-93 with the velocity on the fastball, but with the high spin rate, he makes a living beating right-handed hitters with it. He'll also throw a slider and a curveball.
One and two.
The one thing I was told about Mike Minor to pay attention to, he'll throw that changeup inside to right-handed hitters to get them to swing and miss. Very unusual. Lefties usually try to finish that down and away. So something we'll pay attention to during this game. There it was. Good take by Aaron Judge. It's unusual to see a changeup on the inner half, and as a hitter with 2 strikes, you try to react to velocity and you're way out in front. Good take.
Grounded to short. Andrus across the diamond, 2-away. You know, John, we look at the Yankee record, they're 90-48. That's the best record in baseball. And it's been a great season despite all of the injuries. More players put on the IL than any team in history. And you go, wow, that's really good. 90-48. Well, we were curious, so we look back at 1998. when they won 114 games. You know when they won their 90th game? After 120 games. They were 90-30 that year. They were 60 games over 500. So in order for this Yankee team to reach the amount of wins that that Yankee team had, they'd have to go 24-0 to finish out the season.
It is crazy just to think about. Best record of the major leagues at 90-48, and well behind the pace of that 98 team.
And I'm sure everybody remembers, a Yankee fan of a certain age, but they actually had a really flat spot in the middle of September where they were zooming toward 120 wins in the regular season. Just a phenomenal year, and that team never thought it was going to lose. When they lost, John, they were shocked.
Yeah, you knew their personality better than I did. I tried to compete against that 98 team, and it felt like they would come out at the beginning of the game and give you a big shot to the chin and see how you'd react. And if you did react, they'd come right back and extend the lead. They were just relentless.
Yeah, Joe Torre had to have a meeting after that flat spot in September. Let's go. We can't just turn it on. They finished strong, but the middle of September is what cost them 120 wins, which would have put that record, I think, out of sight. But it eventually was broken by the Mariners at 116. Gleyber Torres works a walk. Here's Gary Sanchez. We were talking about that flat spot in September, John. So they were 138 at that point. 138. They went 7-10. Then Joe Torre had a meeting, and then they ended up going 7-0 to end the regular season. Ripped down the left field line. High enough? No, it's one hop up against the wall. Going to third is Gleyber Torres. Going to second is Sanchez. Yankees have runners on second and third and 2 outs. Like it had a little top spin on it.
Well, Gary Sanchez continuing his hot hitting. Looked like a changeup, maybe a fastball up middle, and you're right. I think there was some top spin off the end of the bat. Able to keep it fair off the wall. And we'll take a look at the side on the swing from Gary Sanchez. Gets that foot down so early, and the extension just off the end of the bat a little bit.
A double for Sanchez, who definitely had slowed down around first, but when the throw came to third, boy, look at Gleyber Torres. He's halfway home. He might go. And finally, Minor stepped off because the third baseman, Santana, is so far off the back, that's allowing Torres to get a 45-foot lead.
Obviously, with a left-handed pitcher, not a great look at Torres.
Mike Ford takes a strike. Ford's walk-off pinch hit home run yesterday, the 11th time that's been done in New York Yankees history.
Well, when Ford was out on the field and Meredith was interviewing him, I thought one of the things he said that was beautiful was, Brett Gardner took the pressure off of me. You see the numbers his last 16 games. Gardner hits the home run to tie it up, and if you're Ford, not that it's a free at bat, but it's, you know what, even if I don't do something here, we're going to extra innings.
Dropped in a strike, 1-2.
And if you look at the splits for Minor, lefties against righties, lefties hitting 245, righties 235. We'll see if Mike Ford can hang in here against a tough left-hander.
And during this hot streak, he's had no problems with left-handers. Minor wants Trevino to go through the signs again. In fact, against left-handers this year, he's hitting .440. 7 of his 10 home runs against lefties. 2-2.
You see the way the Rangers are set up defensively, and then all the time you talk to left-handed hitters, they say, against a left-handed pitcher, I'm just going to try to stay in there, keep my front shoulder closed, middle of the field the other way. Mike Ford, you just hit a ground ball the other way, you'll take your chances with one defender over there.
Two. Tap back to the mound. Minor fields. He gets Ford, and that will do it. No run. I get that shot in September, but I also get that those who believe that the pennant races should involve the players who would be playing in the postseason. The new rule is worth trying. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius Prime to keep the conversation going. Next year it'll be 28. That'll be the limit. Here's Odor. But it'll also be 26 up to September 1st, so one added player next year on the roster. 1-0 Texas. Odor, Guzman, and DeShields against Tanaka. John, 2 hours and 57 minutes. What does a player do? His body clock is ready. I'm ready to play at 1 o'clock. How much does this set you back? Do you eat? I mean, what are you doing there?
Well, I think the beauty or the better situation today is you knew you weren't going to start this thing. So you really don't get your pregame prep going until you get the word, hey, what do we get at maybe 15 minutes before the scheduled first pitch? Gives a player, and the most important player this afternoon is Tanaka, plenty of time to get into your pregame routine. So I didn't feel like today would be that big of a deal from a player's standpoint.
Grounded to first, off the glove of a lunging Voit, and Odor will reach.
Luke Voit going to his right. Tyler Wade was standing right behind him, would have made this play routinely, but Voit goes to his right, can't come up with it clean, and because of that, you see Tyler Wade is going to be right there to make an easy play. Voit gets in the way.
And gets himself an error. I'm told the official time of the delay was 2:52, not 2:57. Here is Guzman. And a strike. I just wonder about pitchers, John. Obviously, you dealt with them your entire career. They seem like they plan their day around that start, even before they know it's going to be around there. I mean, they are prepping for throwing that first pitch at 107, and all of a sudden they're told probably about 12 it's not 107 anymore.
Yeah, I haven't been around too many pitchers where a situation like today would really bother them.
Okay.
You know, you got plenty of time, plenty of notice. It's a day game, so you're getting to the stadium maybe a little later than you would for a night game. And a pro like Tanaka, I wouldn't expect it to be any issue. But you ask what players do. I mean, they might go to the weight room, they might get something to eat, they might play cards, you know, kind of like we were doing up here, right? Just
that's right.
Bonding a little bit, getting along.
Yep. It was a nice hang.
Going through our investments.
Snap throw to first.
Or lack thereof.
Odor dives back. The pitch. Tanaka usually not the quickest worker, but he's really been deliberate between pitches today.
Yeah, it's a good call, and I always describe Tanaka as kind of one of those rhythm pitchers that sometimes it takes him a little while to find that rhythm. And as good as his start was against Seattle, where everything was locked in, you're right, off to kind of a slow start today.
Just back is Odor. Tampa Bay just beat Baltimore 5-4 in 10 innings. So really playing well as the Rays try to nail down a wild card.
And the Rays hanging in there, right? They've had some injury troubles down there in Tampa.
And down goes Guzman on a strikeout.
Take a look at the first slider for Tanaka, or first strikeout's going to be for the slider. It's been a money pitch for him all year long, down and in. Guzman right over the top.
You know, we talked about Tanaka's method of taking his time between pitches. He averages 26 seconds between pitches. And that's in the slowest 20% of Major League Baseball qualifiers. That's just how he feels comfortable.
It looked like that foul ball from DeShields caught a piece of Gary Sanchez. We'll see where it got him. Throwing hands exposed. Well, it's going to be right off the mask.
He always has that hand there, John. Why does he do it?
You know what? It's obviously what he feels comfortable with, and you're taught either to put it behind your back or maybe behind your shin guard somewhere down here. But Sanchez doesn't feel comfortable with it, and that gets him right off the mask. You'd hate to lose somebody as valuable as him with a foul ball off the throwing hand.
And he's taken some foul balls off that hand, and obviously a very resilient guy, strong guy, but you know, catchers really do hide that hand, and he keeps it right there. Popped up, shallow right, drifting back is Wade. He makes the play to retire DeShields.
Now, Michael, you mentioned that Rays-Baltimore game. That game is in Tampa or St. Pete.
Yeah.
Have a hurricane coming through?
Yeah, they're going to play a doubleheader tomorrow rather than play on Wednesday.
And they get both teams out of there, I guess?
And Wednesday's supposed to be the day that they might be hit with it. Here's Trevino. Fouled away. Lights are on here at the stadium. They've been from the very start of the game. There was a period there right when the game began that the sun was shining, but the clouds have won that battle. Very little blue sky above, kind of gray. One and one. Waved through that pitch. 1-2.
You can see Tanaka just doesn't look like himself. That's a split, actually a slider that backs way up and in. Not even close to where Tanaka wanted it. The pitch before was supposed to be in. It ended up away. And Tanaka really mechanically a little bit off early on in this one.
Just missed. Checked his swing. They check with Eric Cooper. He says no.
Well, we'll take a look at the pitch first, and it's clearly off, and it looked like Trevino held up. Look from the side. Good call by Eric Cooper.
Chopped over the mound. And Torres charges to make the play for the final out. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left. We'll go to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 Texas. All on Yes is brought to you in part by Delta Airlines, the airline with more new planes flying out of New York City. Delta, keep climbing. By Toyota, the official hybrid vehicle of New York Yankees. And by FW Webb, the official plumbing, heating, cooling, and PBF supplier to the New York Yankees. Luke Voit leads off the bottom of the second, takes a pitch up and in. 1-0. Voit, Tauchman, and Frazier against Minor. Minor leads Major League Baseball with a 7-0 pitching war. His war is even better than that of Justin Verlander. He does not go. Sky high pop. Odor makes the play. One away. His success this year really must mean the world to him, because this is a guy who missed all of 2015 and most of 2016 with a torn labrum in his left shoulder. Now, he bounced back in 2017 with Kansas City out of the bullpen, and he could have exercised a $10 million option to stay with KC. He elected not to do that because he was pitching out of the bullpen, wanted to be a starter again, and then signed a 3-year, $28 million deal with Texas. There's a strike.
Well, I mentioned his rough July in the scanner report. The ERA 6.59, obviously the highest of his year, and the trade rumors bothered him. Like, he likes it in Texas. He wants to stay there. Obviously, he did not get moved at the deadline.
And when players say it doesn't bother them, you wonder if they're fibbing, because, you know, after the trade deadline, they end up saying, yeah, it was on my mind. I mean, you take a look at the Mets catcher, Wilson Ramos. He was really rumored to be traded somewhere. And he said afterward that it really worried him. And after the trade deadline, it calmed him, and he went off on that long hitting streak. And I think we do, and fans as well. Well, you understand it better, John, because you're in that position. You get traded, your whole life gets uprooted in the middle of a season, and your family and, you know, house and rent and things like that. It's a lot to do.
Yeah, there are different stages in your career that are a little easier to deal with it.
Tauchman loops one into right field. That's going to dunk in front of Mazzara for a base hit.
Tauchman, just like Mike Ford, left-handed pitching does not bother him at all. Lets that ball travel a little bit and get deep, and fights it off into right field. Yeah, but it's real easy to look at somebody like Mike Minor and say, well, why wouldn't you want to get moved? Pitch in a pennant race, get to the postseason. And you're right, there are so many things that go on. Family, kids, comfort with an organization, comfort with a medical staff, coaching staff, manager, whatever it is.
And even if you want to be moved, there's the uncertainty of where you'd go. 1-0 on Frazier. In the outfield, he was the DH yesterday, in the outfield and left field today. Aaron Boone said before the game, even before he was sent down, I saw improvement in him defensively. He's been working hard at it at Scranton, and they feel that he's been better defensively, and Clint Frazier knew that he had to work on it. That's why he was sent down, not because of offense. He did the job swinging the bat. Ground ball to third. Santana to second, one on to first. It's an around the horn double play. 5-4-3. No runs to hit and nobody left on base. Why don't we go to the third inning? 1-0 Rangers. They honor military members and their families through the Geico Seats for Service program. Today we welcome Sergeant First Class Brandon Willett, U.S. Army, Glenmore Road Armory. Thank you for your service. And there he is in the sunglasses. And indeed, thank you for your service. Chu leads off, and the first pitch from Tanaka is a strike as we start the third inning. One and one.
You know, last inning we were talking about getting traded and all the things that go into it, and different times in your career you're kind of better prepared for it.
Sky to left field and deep, going back. Frazier on the run, on the track. He reaches up, he can't make the play. It's off the wall. He recovers and he fires the ball in. Let's see if he's okay. He got up slowly there.
Anytime Clint Frazier runs into a wall, you worry about concussions. He's had problems in the past, and it looked like that ball surprised him off the bat. This is going to be the end result here, off the tip of his glove. Again, off the bat, and then all of a sudden you see he's kind of flat-footed and then picks it up a little bit. Didn't get the greatest jump on that. And he's going to be evaluated on every fly ball or every play in the outfield, because that was the hang-up on him this year early on.
And you know, that's padded out there, but he ran into that full speed, and there's a concrete wall behind the pad, and it doesn't give. So a double for Chu as Andrus takes a strike. Skied the other way and out of play. So for the Texas Rangers, this is the 139th game of the year, and they're meeting the Yankees for the first time. That's the latest in a Texas Rangers season that they're meeting an American League team this late in the season for the first time. An odd schedule quirk. And the Yankees will finish the season, final 3 games of the regular season, in Arlington, officially closing that stadium. But John, I found out that stadium's not being torn down. It will immediately house the XFL team of Texas.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at you doing your homework. Now, they're not going to get that type of a crowd in a major league stadium, will they?
Well, you know what? The New Jersey team is at MetLife.
You mentioned the Yankees playing the Rangers a lot coming down the stretch in September, and the manager of the Rangers, Chris Woodward, actually says he's embracing that. Play the Red Sox, will play the Yankees, some better teams. Because it's all about evaluating right now for the Ranger organization, and their manager saying that he wants to see what these kids are going to look like competing against some of the better teams. And that whole philosophy, are you going to be with us when things get better, or do we have to look for some other pieces? So kind of embracing some of the better teams in the American League East, playing them down the stretch. He's impressed a lot of people with how he's handled this team this year.
There's the resume. 12 big league seasons as an infielder, played for 5 organizations, coached in the Mariner organization. He was the Dodgers' third base and infield coach for 3 years, and then hired as the Rangers manager in November of 18. Two and two. Also, Woodward, John, was one of the people that the Yankees interviewed for the job that eventually went to Aaron Boone. Three and two.
I think his stock went way up when he spent some time out with the Dodgers on their coaching staff, and very analytical organization. But Chris brings that old school kind of grinded out personality as a player. Was always kind of an extra infielder. Had to do all the little things and knows what it takes to stick around at the major league level.
Three-two. Fouled away. Andrus seems like he's been around forever. 11th big league season. He's 31 years old. All of them with the Texas Rangers. He's the longest tenured Ranger.
He might be the one guy who misses Adrian Beltre the most. It seemed like those two guys playing the left side of the infield had a blast together.
Swing and a miss. Andrus down on strikes.
Second strikeout, a good look at the split finger fastball grip and how it dips down and in. Gary Sanchez liked it.
Here's Calhoun, who singled off the right field wall in the first inning, and he's a little bit of a different hitter than he's ever been because the Rangers tried to retool his swing to get more fly balls, the whole launch angle gang, and it's worked for him. And Calhoun said that was tough. He said, because nobody had ever messed with my swing. In the Dodgers organization, it was always defense first, and I didn't know much about my swing or hitting until this offseason. In the end, I said, I'm all yours. And there's a result. There's a high fly ball off Calhoun's bat. Making the catch is Tauchman. 2 away. No, we talked about Chris Davis with the Oakland Athletics, who just left New York. The odd coincidence that he hit 247 4 years in a row, exactly 247. Well, Nomar Mazara has hit exactly 20 home runs in each of his first three big league seasons. And he has 17, so maybe he gets to 20 again right on the nose.
This team really misses Joey Gallo, who was put on the IL July 25th.
And they miss Hunter Pence, who was having a real comeback season. They're hoping to get him back. You look at Mazara, and he doesn't seem like a real big guy, but he has hit the majors' longest home run this year. 505 feet on June 21st off Reynaldo Lopez of the White Sox. Crowd getting into it, an 0-2 count on Mazara, who's driven in the only run with a sac fly in the first inning. It's 1-0 Rangers, top of the third. Runner at second, 2 outs. 1-2. Just missed.
Well, Tanaka, usually a guy who's very economical with his pitch count per inning. Already up to 56 coming now with 2 outs in the third.
And the 2-2. Grounded foul. Missed 2 weeks with the left oblique strain we told you about, and then he was activated on Sunday when the rosters expanded. And now a 2-2 count against Tanaka. Last 4 starts for Tanaka, 3-1, 2.30. The 2-2. 3-2. Yeah, it's 1-0, but you get the sense, John, that he's laboring. He doesn't seem real anxious to throw the baseball, taking a lot of time, way more than usual between pitches. And as you mentioned, he's at 57 pitches with 2 outs here in the third inning.
This is one of those days and one of those starts where you know right from the beginning you just don't feel like yourself mechanically. The ball's going all over the place, and you're right, very deliberate pace early on in this one.
Grounded to second. Right there is Wade. Over to Voit, and the leadoff double is wasted. No runs a hit, 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the third. Well, fans, there's still time to come see the Yankees in action this season. Be there when the Yankees kick off their final home series of the regular season against the Toronto Blue Jays on Friday, September 20th. The first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees knit cap, courtesy of WFAN. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com or visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window. Tyler Wade will start off the bottom of the third inning. It'll be Wade, LeMahieu, and Judge. 9, 1, and 2 in the Yankees order. One nothing Texas. Pitch outside from Minor. 1-0. So Wade getting the start. Didi getting the day off. Gleyber moves from second to short. Wade is at second. There's a strike.
Yeah, Wade getting the start against a tough left-hander. I mentioned early on, the lefty's actually hitting for a higher average at 245 against Minor than righties do, 235.
Still 1-2. Yankee magic number is 15, and it remains at 15 with Tampa Bay beating Baltimore 5-4. Tipped into the glove of Trevino as Wade is down swinging. Take a look at the Umana team prevent defense as LeMahieu comes up. 67 games at second base, just 2 errors. 42 at third, 4 errors. 33 at first, which is essentially a new position for him, just 1 error. Only player in Major League Baseball to play 30 or more games at each position. He's been an absolute godsend with all the injuries because he's been able to seamlessly move from position to position. And when the Yankees lose a player, I mean, you have a DJ LeMahieu who's leading the American League in hitting, move over to that position and play it well. Grounds it back to Minor. This one a lot easier than the first one. 2 away.
Well, I was one of those guys that when that trade happened with LeMahieu, I'm like, where's he going to play? How's he going to fit in? And then I was told, well, he's going to move all over the place. And I was thinking, is it that easy just to go play third and first? Well, LeMahieu has made it look that easy.
Yeah, the thing that the Yankees told him when they signed him to the deal, the only day that you know you're not going to be playing is opening day, because the quote-unquote starters will play opening day. And after that, you'll officially kind of be a regular who moves around. But with the injuries, that hasn't really been the case. Now with, third base, with all the injuries they've had, the latest one with Urshela, he's just been camped out at third base every day. A wave and a miss by Judge, 1-1.
I always thought Hideki Matsui was the perfect player for a manager to manage, and the fact that low maintenance, doesn't say a whole lot, just goes out there and gets it done. And I look at DJ LeMahieu, I think about Aaron Boone with him every day. He doesn't say a word, can cause no fanfare. He just goes out and plays whatever position you ask him to play and gets 2 hits a game, walk-off home runs, whatever you need.
Well, he already has won a batting title, and coming into today, he had a .335 average, and Michael Brantley of the Astros, .329, so he's leading the American League in hitting. I mean, what a signing. We're not going to go over it again. We talk about it every day, but just a high-value signing and a high-value player. Just not a problem at all. Just they call him the machine, wind him up, and he gets hits. And plays defense. Strike 3, Judge down looking. A 1-2-3 inning for Mike Minor as the Yankees go down in order. We're going to the 4th. It's 1-0 Texas. News and more. Download MLB at Bat today. It's your #1 app for Yankees baseball. Danny Santana against Tanaka, and the first pitch is a strike. Audi scoreboard, 1-0 Texas over New York. On July 1st, Texas was 46-38 and in sole possession of the American League's second wild card spot. Since July 1st, they're 21-33, and you could point to the loss of Gallo and Pence, and those are big. But I think just they kind of found their level. Ground ball and through for a base hit. They're a team that's building. There's some flaws. The starting pitching has kind of taken a southward turn, and they are what they are. I don't even know if they had Gallo and Pence, and the people that you talk to with the Rangers, they say, well, the first half schedule was relatively easy. Then it started to get more serious, and they lost games.
Is it fair that you can talk about the heat in Arlington in Texas wearing a team down?
I don't know, John. I mean, they went to 2 World Series in a row. So those teams were able to do it. I remember when Bobby Valentine managed there, he had them like take BP in shorts and stuff like that. They've tried everything, and now they said, okay, let's build a retractable roof. That one is drilled down the right field line and foul.
Well, my thought immediately goes back to the 1995 Tigers that I was a part of. 95? 95. And I remember Sparky Anderson, the Hall of Fame manager. We had a really good first half. As you see, the numbers for the Rangers, the last 54 are not so great. And Sparky had a meeting right before the All-Star break and said, you know what, you guys have had a great first half. He said, but the real teams show up in the second half. So be ready to go. And we immediately fell right out of it. I think to your point, you are what you are. It'll show up over 162 games.
Yeah, I think more people were surprised, John, at 46 and 38 than they're surprised at 21 and 33. Because this is not supposed to be the Rangers' year. I mean, they've kind of turned over the roster. The only one remaining from the World Series team is Andrus. Beltre retired. So definitely a different look as John Daniels tries to rebuild the team, their GM.
John Daniels is paying attention, and also the manager and the coaches, not only on the play out on the field. When things turn the wrong way, how do these players respond, and who do they want to keep around when things are going to get better?
You know, I saw that firsthand, John, when Gene Michael and Buck Showalter took over, where it was just, for 2 years, it was an audition. Who's going to be here when we turn the corner? I mean, they watched everything, how you reacted after a loss, how you acted on the plane, if you were allowed on the bus. Everything was noted. Which guy fits?
There's no doubt. I mean, you played with so many players who were so talented, and they would just be moved on somewhere else because they didn't have what they were looking for in the clubhouse as a teammate, as a winner.
And the people they brought in were high-quality people. They were trying to change the clubhouse. They brought in a Spike Owen. Not a great player, but boy, he knew how to play the game. Mike Gallego. Those were the type of guys. Jimmy Key. Just changed the culture of the clubhouse while getting the guys out that they said, these aren't winners. These are not going to help us when we turn the corner. And the fruit of their labor was 1996, and obviously when they made the playoffs in 95. And they finished with the second best record in baseball at the strike in 94. So it was a quick turnaround. They did it in a hurry. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Well, September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and the Yankees are teaming up with New York Presbyterian Hospital, Columbia University Medical Center, Weill Cornell Medicine, and Ed Randall's Fans for the Cure to save lives by offering a free screening prior to and during Tuesday night's game against Texas. So come to the area near main level, section 220, for a simple PSA blood test. The first 300 men over age 40 who take action will receive a voucher good for 2 tickets for selected home games during the 2020 season. There is an almost 99% cure rate if prostate cancer is detected early. So cover your bases, do it for yourself and the ones you love. We want to keep you in the ballgame, and that is tomorrow right here. You know, just an example of how they watch everything. Like when Showalter took over, attention to detail. I mean, he was, you know, in his mid-30s then, was off the charts. So he's sitting on the bus that would take the team to the airport. And he, you know, usually managers first guy off, gets a seat on the plane, and he would sit in his seat and watch every single player and coach get off the bus, go up the steps to the plane. I said, what are you doing? He said, you have to see how people react to losses, how they react to wins. Body language, how they feel. Are they happy after a loss? Those are the guys you weed out.
And this was, let's say,
92, 93.
But I'm talking timing after a game actually ends, an hour and a half, 2 hours,
yeah.
And he's still watching. So Don Zimmer was my third base coach my rookie year with the Boston Red Sox, and he watched me after a game that I got put in the game. We got blown out by the Chicago White Sox, and Jack McDowell was Blackjack back then, you know, Cy Young Award winner, and we got blown out of this game.
Chopped to first, foul ball.
So I was put in to give Tony Pena a couple of innings off. I get one at bat. I end up striking out. And after the game, he watches me go to the team spread in the clubhouse. Don Zimmer does. And he can tell that I'm not happy because I had to take a 2-0 fastball, my one at bat in like 10 days.
Right.
And he watched this whole thing. And the next day when I showed up to the clubhouse, he was waiting for me by my locker and went off on me.
Really?
You're the 25th guy in the team. Who do you think you are? I'm sitting there, I'm going back to Pawtucket. That's what I'm thinking, packing up my bags. And then the next 15 minutes pumped me up about if you carry yourself the right way, not what you do on the field, but if you carry yourself the right way around a major league clubhouse and a major league team, you can hang around for a long time.
Now let me throw this back at you. All of those things, are those lost now because everything is numbers based, it seems?
Great question. I think that obviously the analytic department won't pay attention to those things, but I guarantee you Aaron Boone, coaching staff, and players pay attention to all those things.
Your players seem like they police players as well as anybody. As Guzman works a walk, and this is a slog of a day for Tanaka. He's keeping at 1-0, but he's laboring. It's not easy for him today.
Well, there was so much talk yesterday on how Aaron Boone, the manager, used his bullpen, who was available, who wasn't available. Well, the bullpen's going to be a big part of this one with 73 pitches already, 1 out in the 4th.
One nothing Rangers, top of the 4th inning. Here's DeShields. Hit sharply. This should be 2. There's 1. And there's 2. They double up the speedy DeShields as Tanaka got just what he needed. No runs a hit and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Yes is brought to you in part by Kia. Hurry into Kia's summer clearance event going on now. Learn more at KiaDealers.com, and by Subway. Make it what you want. All right, so through 3 innings, the Yankees have not scored against Mike Minor, but let's get into the analytics as Gleyber Torres leads off. So Minor, in the first 3 innings, has a 2.11 ERA, which leads the American League. But from the 4th inning and beyond, the ERA jumps up more than 2 full runs to 4.24. And we start the 4th inning. 0-2.
Yeah, Minor's coming off a strange start against the Angels. His last time out, he took the loss in that game. He threw 6 shutout innings against the Angels his last outing and then gave it up in the 7th. Took the loss.
Audi scoreboard is 1-0 Texas over the Yankees. First game of a 3-game set tomorrow and Wednesday. Night games here at the stadium, but there's 6:35 starts after Labor Day. So if you're coming to the game, know it starts at 6:35, a half hour earlier, as Gleyber Torres takes a call third strike, and the coverage on Yes starts at 6 both nights. 6 o'clock both nights.
Well, we talked about Minor and how he likes to throw a changeup inside. That's a slider that catches plenty of the plate. And Torres thought that might have been low.
Here's Gary Sanchez. He doubled off the wall in left field. That was in the first inning. Inside. 1-0. Minor went to Vanderbilt and was actually teammates with David Price and Pedro Alvarez at Vandy. Ended up being a first-round pick in 2009 by the Atlanta Braves. 7th overall pick.
When I think Vanderbilt now, I think about Al Leiter and his son, right?
Yes,
Jack
Jack.
probably already took him down there.
Mm-hmm. He's actually been down there all summer because he started taking classes to get some classes out of the way. (3-1). Chased the pitch up in the zone, 3-2.
That pitch right there will tell you what Minor feels about his fastball. We talked about the high spin rate. He can beat a lot of right-handed hitters. He elevates it a little bit. That's a fastball count. He's coming right at Gary Sanchez. Able to get it by him.
You know, 93, and you mentioned this earlier, John, it plays faster because of the spin rate. It's still 93, but I guess it just has more hop to it.
Yeah, they would call it life, and it's hard to explain. You know, we were watching Sean Manaea with the Oakland A's, and I would say that's like a heavy shot put fastball that he throws. When Minor, with all that spin rate, has the life on it, able to get in on the hands of right-handed hitters and get it by him.
That one is looped to shallow left. Andrus is there. Two-way. I've always thought of that, though, like, you know, when they give you a heat index. It's 91, but it feels like 105. You know what? Then it's 105.
Yes.
And if it plays like it's 96, then it's 96. Here's Mike Ford. So the back-to-back game-tying and game-winning home runs that happened yesterday, only the 3rd time in Yankee history. It happened in 1949, Yankees against the Browns, Tommy Henrich, old reliable, and Joe D. It happened in 2000 against the A's, Bernie and Johnny Damon, and then last night, or yesterday, Gardner and Ford, who lines out to second for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. And Minor has retired 7 Yankees in a row. And the Red Sox 5 out after they beat the Angels yesterday. Trevino with a high fly ball to right, going back Judge, track, wall, see ya. Home run for Trevino to lead off the 5th inning. It's 2-0 Rangers.
Well, Trevino, a light-hitting catcher, batting 9th in the lineup. And we talked about Tanaka. Loves to throw first pitch strikes, fastball down the middle. Probably had more plate than obviously he wanted. And Trevino takes advantage of the short porch.
Nice catch. Here's Chu. And there's a strike.
Sanchez wants it away, and it's on the outer half. Gets a pretty good chunk of home plate.
Chu, 37 years old, his 15th big league season.
Wow.
Started with Seattle, then Cleveland and Texas. He's in the 6th year of a 7-year, $130 million deal as he swings and misses. One away. Andrus fouls it off. The 0-1. Broken bat looper over the head of Wade and into right center field. A base hit for Andrus. You know, I talked about those walk-offs, a tie, home run, and then a game-winning, the Coors Light refreshing finish. Here's Bernie. He ties a game at the old Yankee Stadium. I think that was against Billy Taylor. That was in 2000. And then David Justice sends everybody home. A great catch by a fan and went into a cup in bleachers, and Justice walks it off. Now 2000, I don't know if it was still called, it was called a walk-off yet. Now that's the thing, you know, walk-off. You think anybody called Bobby Thompson's home run a walk-off?
A walk-off, no.
But now it's part of the vernacular. Rangers have 2 runs on 6 hits. The Yankees no runs on 2 hits. They've committed 1 error. And that was a ground ball by Odor off the glove of Voit. Didn't result in a run in the 2nd inning. High fly ball. Deep right again. Going back Judge. This time he has room on the track. He'll make the play. Now, James somehow looked this up. He said the first walk-off reference was a July 1988 quote from Dennis Eckersley.
You ever listen to Eck do a game?
No, I have not.
He can say some things.
Well, he gave up one of the game's greatest walk-offs ever to Kirk Gibson.
If he doesn't like your hairdo, it's bad salad, stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
So his own
language.
bad salad.
You might see him this weekend, right? Or next weekend? This weekend?
Yeah. Or it could be a Jerry Remy vehicle. Pitches high to Mazara. You know, speaking of salad, John, they were showing so many videos during the rain delay. One of them was of Jay Happ in college. Talk about salad. He had long hair. He looked like a completely different human being. Now he shaves his head. Had long curly locks.
Curly,
yeah,
right?
Almost like Mark Fidrich. Look that up, younger viewers. The Bird. Mark Fidrich took baseball by storm, pitching for the Detroit Tigers. For really our younger viewers, he talked to the baseball, he manicured the mound, got down on his hands and knees. He was a lot of fun, and remember him coming into Yankee Stadium and the place was jammed, and they didn't fill out the ballpark that much back then.
To see the Bird.
See the Bird. And then he hurt his arm and really never fulfilled the promise. I think in his rookie year he won 19 games. There's Jay Happ. Looks like a different dude. Looks like he's about to throw a changeup there, right?
Northwestern.
Good school. And I believe the reason they called Mark Fidrich the Bird was because he looked like Big Bird from Sesame Street. There's Mark Fidrich. And the year was 1976. 21 years old, 19-9, 2.34, Rookie of the Year. He was done by the age of 26. Only threw 162 innings after that year. He was so great for the game. And there's a walk. Here is Fidrich in action.
Well, he did all those things, but he also had a nasty slider.
And he talked to himself. Now it seems like everybody talks to themselves, but then it was kind of strange. He would talk to the ball. He'd get down on his knees and smooth out the mound and talk to the mound.
You know what else is unusual? It looked like he was finishing up a complete game right there. Getting some congratulations from his teammates.
Lined into left field. It's a base hit off the bat of Santana. Rounding third and heading home is Andrus. The throw home is in time. What a throw by Frazier to end the inning. Clint Frazier with a bullet ends up getting the speedy Andrus.
Well, he gets the ball in good shape and doesn't worry about the short hop. Right on a line to Gary Sanchez. The play is a whole lot easier when you get a good throw from your outfielder. Nice job, Clint Frazier. Frazier going to get this base hit. Picks it up on a hop that he likes, and third base coach Tony Beasley going to be aggressive as Andrus comes around third. But the perfect throw on a line from Frazier is going to get him at the plate.
John, I would think on a fly has to make it so much easier for a catcher.
Yeah, I mean, you're always reading the throw and the hop, and if you can eliminate the hop part and just lock down on the throw and the angle, Clint Frazier made Gary Sanchez's job a whole lot easier. But to be fair, every time there's a play in the outfield for Clint Frazier, we're going to break it down. And that was a nice throw right there.
Here's Luke Voit. And the pitch is high, 1-0. Two 2-0 Texas. We're halfway through. Voit swings and misses, 1-1.
We'll see if a nice defensive play to end the fifth inning can get the Yankees going offensively here in the bottom half. Only 2 hits against Minor.
Ripped to left field. That's going to be extra bases. Up against the wall. Voit rounds first. He's heading to second. The throw from Calhoun, not nearly in time. It's a leadoff double for Voit.
Well, a loud double from Luke Voit. As Minor tries to sneak that fastball inside, and the difference is not really elevated, it's a little bit down. And because of that, Luke Voit able to get the bat head to it easily and drill that into left field.
So here is Mike Tauchman. A single to right. That was in the second, so the Yankees have a runner in scoring position. They had runners on second and third in the first inning with 2 outs, but Voit, or should I say Ford, hit one back to Minor to end the inning. Fouled away. This is the first time since the first inning a runner has been in scoring position. Coming from behind is not unusual for this Yankee team. They've had 41 come from behind wins and 5 wins when they're trailing heading into the 9th inning. They had 37 come from behind wins last year. The double by Voit, that's his 100th hit of the season. Lined into center field. DeShields will put it away, and Voit stays put at second. One down. And that'll bring up Clint Frazier. Let's take a look at that throw on StatCast AI powered by AWS. So he gets it on a short hop. He throws the ball at 96.5 miles per hour, and he threw it 243 feet on a fly to Sanchez to end the inning. And the coach down at Scranton that's been working with him on his defense is Julio Bourbon.
Well, his footwork getting to that ball looked a whole lot better to me and a lot more confident. And that arm strength, he's always had plenty of arm strength, but the confidence to let it go on a line. A nice play.
Frazier this year hitting .375 with the Yankees when there are runners in scoring position. One and one. Two and one. Clint wrapped into a 5-4-3 double play. That was in the second, so he's 0 for 1.
Well, Minor has first base open here in a fastball count with the lefty hitting Tyler Wade on deck. See if he goes with that changeup. Missed away with it.
3 and 1.
If you're Clint Frazier, you sell out here as Wade is on deck for that fastball with the high spin rate. We've seen Minor go right at Gary Sanchez. We'll see if he goes at Clint Frazier here.
Pulled the string again, 3 and 2.
Good look at the rotation out on the outer half.
Popped up. Odor makes the play. 2 away. And Voit remains at second after the leadoff double. Now 2 outs, and that leaves it up to Tyler Wade. Wade struck out in the 3rd inning.
Marking their territory out there. Saying this is my side of the field.
Jose Bautista would tell you do not mess with Rougned Odor. That one is lined into left center field. On the run is DeShields, and he makes the play for the final out. So Wade hit it hard, but run down by DeShields. The Yankees strand Voit. We go to the 6th.
Match for the first time since going on the injured list with a right flexor strain. There he is again today playing catch. No timetable for his return, but I spoke to him in the clubhouse the other day. He said the arm feels good. There are no issues there. Aaron Boone was asked about when he thinks Hicks will be back. He does believe he will be back at some point in time in September, but did not have a specific date in mind, Michael.
Thank you, Meredith. Odor leads off against Tanaka, and the first pitch outside.
Now, Meredith, did you hear anything on Luis Severino and how he came through his outing? I was talking yesterday that today might be more important than yesterday.
Aaron Boone said that Luis Severino does in fact feel okay post-outing. He threw 33 pitches in that one, and then he went to the bullpen and threw 12 more, so he actually threw a total of 45 pitches. They'll stretch him out a little bit more next time. He'll likely start for the Rail Riders on Friday, but Aaron Boone seemed extremely encouraged by what they saw from Severino.
Yeah, Severino told Boone it's just normal soreness after throwing, and that is great news. And Meredith, the Connor Foley report, does that pretty much tell you that Encarnacion's going to be here tomorrow?
And it seemed like Aaron Boone was hinting at that earlier today, saying he would be in that lineup. He played first base for the Rail Riders today, but as long as he feels healthy, there's really no reason not to bring him back up here. There's nothing that he's going to accomplish down at the minor league level, and he's a guy that Aaron Boone cannot wait to pencil back in that lineup and get him some big league at-bats. They believe he is going to be such a key player for them down the stretch and, of course, in the postseason.
Well, John, the only reason I would see to keep him down, though, is for timing. I mean, can you be out that long and get your timing back that quickly?
I think it's one of those situations, if you go down there for a couple of days and you feel like you're locked in, then you're a veteran player who's had a long resume. You can kind of call the shots on when you can come back. So to answer your question, yes, it's possible. It doesn't happen very often. How many at-bats could he have had? 6,
a couple of days,
8,
yeah.
maybe?
1-0 to Ronald Guzman, who has struck out and walked. It is 8. He's had 8 at-bats. 1-1. You know, one thing that you see about Tanaka, I wonder if you agree with me on this, John. He has not had his best stuff today.
No.
He's labored, but here he is. He's pitching the 6th inning. A lot of pitchers would have been gone way before the 6th inning and would have given up way more than 2 runs.
Yeah, and it looks like he's selling out a little bit here in the 6th with his delivery. A little bit more on the fastball there. But if you look at his last start, I think it was over 100 pitches. The start before that, the same. So he's kind of coming up on those numbers. 106 last time, 109 the start before. Now, obviously, every starting pitcher wants to go out there every 5th day with his best stuff and dominate, but been around a lot of starting pitchers who will tell you they're more proud of an outing like this, where they felt like they had nothing and they were able to kind of hang in there, keep their club in the game.
Well, Leiter used to say that, let's say a starter gets 30 starts, and usually it's about 32 now, but we'll say 30 to make the math easy, that there's 7 starts that you just have the best stuff you could possibly have. Cortez warming up. Then 7 where just awful, just absolutely awful. The 16 in between, that makes your season.
Yep.
What you could do with so-so stuff. Guzman swings and misses.
And a good fastball there at 93, so a little bit more as Tanaka letting it eat a little bit in the 6th.
He was late on that. And that'll bring up Delino DeShields. One and one. DeShields is 0 for 2, popped to second, wrapped into a 6-4-3 double play. It's 2-0 Rangers. They have 7 hits. The Yankees have 3. Top of the 6th inning. 2 outs, nobody on. And Tanaka with 100 pitches. Two and one. 2-2. Ground ball, second base. Moving to the glove side is Wade. And Tanaka works a 1-2-3 6th inning. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. It's 2-0 Texas.
69 Astros.
A lot of people are saying that that's the one team that might put a scare into the Dodgers because of the starters they could run out. But the Nationals lost to the Mets this afternoon by a score of 7-3 as they start their series. And the Nationals have been one of the hottest teams in baseball. It's been 220 games that the Yankees have not been shut out. And they're trailing 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th inning, top of the order against Mike Miners. Mike Minor, 220 straight games. That's the second longest streak in the history of baseball.
Well, yesterday you mentioned that, and then all of a sudden they woke up.
The power of words. The 0-1. 1-1 on LeMahieu. Check swing, and he does hold up according to Eric Cooper. 2-1. That will probably do it for Tanaka. 6 innings. That one is chopped to short. Charging is Andrus, and he gets LeMahieu to start off the 6th. And that brings up Aaron Judge, who grounded to short and struck out looking.
Well, Aaron Judge just had a little conversation with Chris Siegel, the home plate umpire. And you think back to Aaron's last at bat, got caught looking on a fastball away that looked like a perfect pitcher's pitch. Just thinking to myself, he didn't look like he was real happy after the fact, but maybe went and looked at the video and just said, you know what, you did catch the corner. Nice little exchange between Aaron Judge and the home plate umpire.
High fly ball, right field. Mazara makes the play. 2 away. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. There's Gleyber Torres. He walked and struck out, so a no contact day for Gleyber. 2-0 Rangers over the Yankees, bottom of the 6th inning. 0-1. Certainly has turned into a lovely early evening after a long rain delay at the start. A lot of blue skies over the left field grandstand. Those shadows in the outfield, so we know the sun is shining. At times during the delay, you wondered if there'd be baseball today. It was raining so hard. But they studied the radar and felt there would be a window, and that window has turned into a beautiful day. High fly ball, right field. Mazara is there, and he'll put it away as the Yankees go down in order. 1, 2, 3. We've played 6 innings at the stadium. Rangers lead this one. It's 35. Get to your seats and your TV sets early. And it's Ariel Jurado, although it could be an opener. That's who they have listed, though. Jurado against James Paxton. And there's a strike as we start the 7th inning. Nestor Cortes Jr. is on the mound as Aaron Boone makes the BioFreeze fast-acting pain relief pitching change. And the count 0-2 on Trevino, who connected on a home run against Tanaka in the 5th. That made it 2-0. The other run scored on a sac fly by Mazara in the 1st. Did he go? Yes, he did. Down goes Trevino on strikes.
We'll take another look at this fastball that's elevated from Cortes. Gets a check swing and gets a call.
So Tanaka, 6 innings, 7 hits, and 2 runs. It's his 14th start of 6 or more innings and no more than 2 runs allowed. And that's tied for 4th most in the American League. Cadillac scoreboard 2-0 Texas. That's rolled up the 3rd baseline. Foul ball grabbed there by Sanchez.
Tanaka's last 5 starts now, the ERA at 2.4, so he's maybe not where he wanted to be today, but found a way to get through it. 2 runs, 6 innings.
One and two. Strike 3. Chu down looking. Cortes attacking the strike zone has struck out the first 2 batters here in the 7th.
Yeah, not afraid to drop down, throw across his body, and then the end result is just dotted on the outside corner. Perfect pitch with some deception.
Here's Elvis Andrus, and the first pitch is a strike.
Cortes Jr. works fast, changes speed, changes arm angles, and not afraid to throw the ball over the plate and challenge some people.
1 and 2. Boy, he works quickly, in stark contrast to how much time it was taking Tanaka between pitches. He's on the rubber ready to go. It's the batter that's stepping out.
When you watch him deliver a fastball at upper 80s with the velocity, but he stands on that mound like he's throwing 95.
Comes from the side there and fires high.
So many pitchers who are almost robots with their delivery, but Cortes Jr., whatever he feels, goes with.
3 and 2. Swing and a miss. What an inning for Cortes. He strikes out the side. 1, 2, 3. And at the end of 6.5 innings of play, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Rangers lead the Yankees 2-0, but will stay right here as they honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your caps, and please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest who is joined by his family. United States Army Air Force Staff Sergeant, 95-year-old Herbert Schuman from Ardsley, New York. who served in World War II. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join us as Yankee Stadium organist Paul Cartier plays God Bless America.
Presented by your local Nissan dealer. 2 runs on 7 hits for the Rangers. No runs, just 3 hits for the Yankees. Minor's gone 6. Tanaka went 6. Minor's out there to pitch the 7th. Yankees 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Jose Trevino, a solo home run. And Nomar Mazara, a sac fly, accounting for the Ranger runs. Gary Sanchez will lead off against Minor. And is 1-0.
I mentioned the 7th inning last time out for Minor against the Angels. He had some trouble. If the Yankees can get something going here in the 7th.
Cadillac scoreboard 2-0 Texas. So far the Yankees have not exposed the Rangers defense, which is one of the worst in the game. In fact, 7th worst in defensive runs saved. So they can help you out, but so far they've played a clean game. Santana is deep and very close to the line at third. With that spin rate you're talking about, you could see it play where 92 is just right by a batter.
And the last 2 at bats for Gary Sanchez, Minor's just been coming right at him with fastballs. He jammed him last time, a looping line drive to short, a couple of fastballs right by him.
Missed with that one. Told you 220 straight games without being shut out. During this run, they've been shut out through 6 innings 13 times, 7 innings 5 times, including yesterday, and 8 innings just twice. Popped up and out of play.
Again, it's fastball after fastball. It's just beating Gary Sanchez a little bit. So maybe if he gets ready a little early, tries to get his foot down a little bit earlier and catch up with that velocity.
And that's a strikeout as he tipped it into the glove of Trevino.
You don't see this very often. Pitchers going right at Gary with fastballs. Gets a little piece, but Trevino able to hold on.
And that brings up Mike Ford, who is 0 for 2. Yankees' best chance came in the first inning with runners on second and third and 2 men out, and that's when Ford hit it back to Minor to end the inning. Grounded. to Andrus. 2 away. All of us here at the Yes Network wish you a happy Labor Day. Hope you enjoyed your Labor Day weekend. And according to the U.S. Department of Labor website, Labor Day constitutes a yearly national tribute to the contribution workers have made to the strength, prosperity, and well-being of our country. So happy Labor Day. Here's Luke Voit. 1 for 2, had a double his last time up. So after today, John, no more white pants for you.
It's a shame.
The only guy that's exempt from that is John Sterling.
Why is that?
I've seen
He
him
can pull it off?
I've seen him wearing white pants in Christmas, you know, so the calendar doesn't mean much to him. That's how he rolls. One and one on Voit. Did he go? No, he did not, according to Eric Cooper. White jacket, I'm not sure. I don't know what the rules would be on jacket. Three and one on Luke Voit. Tauchman's on deck. Three infielders on the left side for the righty swinging Voit. Guzman stands alone on the right side. He's about 40 feet from first base. There's Zach Britton getting ready. There's no catcher yet, just doing his stretching. And the 3-1. 3-2. And the payoff. Strike three, Voit down looking. He does not like that call. 9 in a row retired by Minor. We go to the 8th inning. Rangers 2, Yankees nothing.
Down the latest Yankee news and talk with the biggest guests. Watch the Michael Kay Show presented by Untuckit weekdays at 3 right here on Yes.
First show back where all three are together in 2 months. Hyundai scoreboard 2-0 Texas over the Yankees. Big week, football starts.
Big week. I know you worked with Don last week,
yes,
right?
But Peter was off. Calhoun with a high fly ball, right center. And Tauchman makes the play. So there are 2 benchmarks in the baseball season, John. Memorial Day and Labor Day. And a friend of mine, Bill Chuck, who's amazing with statistics, he put together the standings in the American League, the records from Memorial Day to Labor Day. Yankees have the best mark at 56-30. Astros next, 54-30. Then Cleveland, Oakland, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, and Boston. Detroit, 21-64 between Memorial Day and Labor Day. And after today for the Yanks, 23 games remain in the regular season. That one is looped into left field. Coming on is Clint Frazier, and it gets by him. But it's just going to be a single for Mazara. Backing up was Tauchman.
Cortez gets in there with a breaking ball. Mazara fights it off, and it looked like Clint Frazier had a pretty good jump. Not able to get there, not able to keep it in front, but Tauchman a good job of backing him up.
High fly ball. Left center. Tauchman's there to make the play to retire Santana for the second out. Here is Odor.
Odor 0 for 3 today. His last 20 games, he came into this game hitting 118 over his last 20, so his struggle is continuing.
Very strange contract that Odor signed, John. He's in the third year of a 6-year, $49.5 million extension he signed before the 2017 season, but the deal insisted on 2 horses. Odor's 7th and 8th horses for his family ranch in Venezuela. So you couldn't get the horses with the 49.5. You needed them thrown in. I wonder how that calculates toward the luxury tax. Hit 33 home runs in 2016, 30 in 2017, but after that, a huge drop-off. And he ends up walking there. That moves Mazara to second.
You can see Nestor Cortes Jr. looking in his hat. Gary Sanchez doing the same thing on his wristband, just getting on the same page with the signals with a runner at second base.
That one is lined into center field. It is a base hit. Mazara will score. Odor goes to third. Guzman with an RBI single. It's 3-0 Texas.
Well, you think back to yesterday's game when the Yankees were able to come back from a 4-0 deficit. Guzman just gets beat right there, but he's big and strong enough to muscle it in to center field. A 2-out hit. It's going to add another run.
There's Delino DeShields. Shows bunt, takes outside. 1-0. Oh. LeMahieu's guarding against the bunt. He is coming in on the grass at third.
There's a lot of room over here for DeShields if he's thinking about pushing one that way, with Cortes falling off to the third base side.
One and one. Shows bunt again, takes a strike, 1-2. Runner coming down from third, and Cortes steps off. So Odor took off with LeMahieu playing far off the bag.
Trying to get a balk. Cortes Jr. a good job of stepping off.
Two and two. That has got to be unnerving because you hear the crowd roar. The dugout's probably yelling, he's going, he's going. A little hesitation in the delivery for Cortes. Hung the leg up there a bit.
I'm sure that Odor, taking his lead off a third as we see another hesitation, is thinking that if Cortes Jr. throws over to first, there's a possibility Odor would take a chance trying to steal home.
Just missed 3-2, so that will release Guzman at first. Odor will stay at third with the 2 outs.
Has to go with the backdoor slider. It doesn't get there. Gary Sanchez trying to bring a pitch back that's not really that close.
High drive, left field, going back, Frazier turning, looking, see ya. A 3-run home run for DeShields. Just his 4th home run of the year, and it's 6-0 Texas.
Well, Texas has some guys in their lineup with some big-time power. You don't expect that from Delino DeShields. And a big swing of the bat for the Texas Rangers. Take it now to 6-0.
Pitch is high to Trevino.
Shields gets on top of a high fastball.
1-1 on Trevino. Well, a guy in full Yankee uniform made the catch. Grounded to third, charging LeMahieu. And that will do it here in the 8th. But the Rangers score 4. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 6-0 Texas. With DIC and by GMC, we are professional grade. 6-0 Texas Rangers on the Hyundai scoreboard. 6 runs on 10 hits. Yankees just 3 hits. And Tauchman will lead off against Minor, who deals outside 1-0. Tauchman's 1 for 2, so he has one of the Yankees' 3 hits. The other hits, a Sanchez double, a Voit double. And a strike. Two and 1. John Kelly, essentially the Rangers closer now. Tyler Lyons, who was called up when the rosters expanded. He's up in the Yankee bullpen. The 3-1. Fouled away.
Minor, a guy who's used to pitching over 100 pitches per game. His last 8 outings, he's been over 100.
Really hasn't had an overly taxing inning other than the 21 in the first, which is certainly not terrible. 3-2. Fouled it back. Frazier is on deck. Lined into center field. It's a base hit in front of DeShields. Second hit for Tauchman. Let's go back to 1996 on this date. Really a special time in the career of David Cone. He came back after missing the entire season, essentially, for aneurysm surgery, and he no-hits the Oakland A's through 7 innings. That was in Oakland. Great play by Bernie. Helped keep it a no-hitter. And then the pitch count monster got him. As Joe Torre said, listen, coming back from surgery, we can't let you go past 85. Mariano pitched the last 2 innings, gave up 1 hit. So a combined 1 hitter. That was his first start since May 2nd. He had an aneurysm repaired, and he thought his career was in jeopardy. And it's detailed so beautifully by David and Jack Curry in the book Full Count, how it meant so much to him. His dad was sitting in the first row right behind the first base dugout where the Yankees were stationed, and he looked at his dad every single inning that he walked off the mound. The guy who taught him how to pitch, his first coach.
Well, we were talking about Sean Manaea, that left-hander who came back from shoulder surgery, but an aneurysm, completely a different deal. But just watching some of those highlights of David, how he dropped down on his slider, he made it up out there and was dominant that afternoon.
One and two. Two and two on Frazier. And the pitch. Ground it to short. There's one. And that's all they'll get. Also on this day, another near no-hitter at Fenway Park. Mike Messina, who was in the booth with us yesterday. 8 2/3 perfect innings. He was dealing. And then Carl Everett lines one into left center field for the only base runner and the only hit of the game, as Messina fell just short of perfection. That was on this date in 2001. He was 1 strike away. 0-1 on Tyler Wade. He's 0 for 2 tonight. And now he's 1 for 3 as he hits a shot to right field. Moving to second is Frazier. And this looks like that will be it for Mike Minor, as the manager Chris Woodward is going to take the ball from his ace, and he will ask the bullpen to get the final 5 outs. Clubhouse reaction from today's game. Plus, you get the full manager's report from Aaron Boone. It's only on Yes. Here's Sean Kelly. 11 of 15 save opportunities for the Rangers this year. This is his 42nd game. Pitched for the Yankees in 2013 and 2014. This is his 10th big league season. And he is going to face DJ LeMahieu.
Well, Kelly has always had a really good slider, and the numbers bear it out this year. Right-handed hitters only hitting 190 against him. Lefties 390. He's got a couple of righties coming up. LeMahieu, Judge, Torres, Sanchez.
Frazier leads off second. Tyler Wade off first, so good speed on the bases for the Yanks. They have 5 hits now, 6-10-0, leading 0-5-1. Bottom of the 8th inning, Yankees looking to rally. They rallied late in yesterday's game. Another good start from Minor. And now Trevino and Kelly having a hard time getting together on the sign, so Trevino will make a trip out to the mound. Outside. Kelly's 35 years old. Grew up, his brothers were friends with the Oscar-winning actress Jennifer Lawrence, so she was always over the house. And the count 1-2.
Take another look at the last pitch. It's a fastball at only 92, but a good spot inside. Kelly with a good slider. LeMahieu, we know, hits well with 2 strikes and drives the ball the other way.
And the pitch. Grounded softly to short. They'll get 1 out. They'll make it at first as the runners move up. So second and third for the Yankees for Aaron Judge. So Judge is 0 for 3 so far today. Ground ball is short. He struck out looking, and a fly ball to left. And a strike. Outside, 1-1. Yankees have not been shut out in 220 straight games. So runners on second and third here in the bottom of the 8th. Lined into center field and caught by DeShields, and that will do it. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left. We go to the 9th. Right here on Yes. That's the McCombs Dam Bridge, right outside Yankee Stadium. As we go to the 9th inning, 6-0 Rangers. And a new Yankee pitcher is Tyler Lyons. 31 years old, released by the Pirates on August 11th, signed with the Yankees 4 days later. This is his 7th Major League season, 6 with St. Louis, and 3 games with Pittsburgh this year, the last one on May 8th. And there's a strike to Chu, who's 1 for 4 with a double.
Well, obviously, Lyons trying to make an impression here, but Gary Sanchez asking him to throw some fastballs in, which is not the easiest thing to do sometimes for left-handed pitching.
And a foul ball as Sanchez couldn't hold on to the tip. So he's still alive. Driven deep to right field, going back, Judge, turning, looking, gone. A home run for Chu. It is 7-0 Rangers. '21st home run of the year for Chu, his 50th ribby. Here's Andrus. 0-1. Base hit to right field. Judge will get it in, and Andrus picks up his 3rd hit of the afternoon.
Well, the Yankees down 7-0. Luke Voit will play behind the runner at first.
And the pitch to Calhoun is a strike. Tell you what, I probably wouldn't be great with unwritten rules. I like rules written out. 7-0 against a Yankee team that can score runs in a bunch. I don't know if I'd pull the plug if I'm the Rangers, even if the Yankees are playing behind. Swing and a miss. Down goes Calhoun. I think the way, home runs are flying out this year around baseball, the number of runs to the unwritten rules really have to change. I don't know if 7 runs would do it.
7 kind of feels like it would do it for me. Not for you, huh?
I'd be a little bit hedging my bet. I remember Buck Showalter had a guy steal at 5-0 against the Tigers. Sparky Anderson went crazy.
Yep.
5-0. And it was early in the game, and they came back and won.
Sparky was big on all those unwritten rules. Certain way to do things. If a hitter before you swung at the first pitch, you better take a strike next at bat.
right back to Lyons. And he will double up Andrus, and that'll do it here in the ninth. 1 run, 2 hits, and nobody left on base. Bottom of the ninth inning coming up. Yankees trail this one, 7 the game, but want to score a run to keep their streak alive. The last time the Yankees were shut out was June 30th last year against the Red Sox. Chris Sale went 7, Heath Hembree 8th, Hector Velasquez 9th, 11-0 Boston won. Now they're going to try to score a run off Emmanuel Clase. This guy throws about a 98-mile-an-hour cutter. His stuff is filthy. So he just 11 strikeouts in 13 innings. But everybody I spoke to before the game, John, they said, watch this guy. He can really throw.
Yeah, he's got a big-time arm, and you can see the 6 walks in 13 innings. But with movement and velocity and getting an opportunity, picked up his first career save on Friday.
Made his Major League debut August 4th. And he's going to face Torres, Sanchez, and Ford. So a 99-mile-an-hour cutter. Emmanuel Clase. 7-0 Texas. And during this, there's 98, 220 straight game streak, the Yankees have gone into the 9th inning being shut out twice, and both times scored with 2 outs in the 9th inning to keep the streak alive. The 0-1. 0-2. Just 21 years old, from Rio San Juan in the Dominican Republic. Swing and a miss. Just overpowered Gleyber Torres. 1 away.
98, 99 miles an hour. And if you watch the flight, it's got a little cut right at the end.
Originally signed with the Padres, but was traded to Texas last May for a player to be named later, which turned out to be catcher Brett Nicholas. Sanchez fouls it back. He was promoted from Double-A, skipped over Triple-A. Sanchez is 1 for 3, one of the Yankees' 5 hits. He doubled in the first. This must be tough, John. A, stuff-wise. B, they've never seen him. I mean, they've got scouting reports on him, but until you step in the box and know exactly how his stuff moves, this must not be an easy at-bat.
No, it's not an easy at-bat, and then you throw on top of it, you're down 7-0. And it's kind of been a long day, and obviously you don't try to give away big league at-bats, but when this guy comes at you with a 99-mile-an-hour cutter, it's going to get your attention.
100 miles an hour. One and 2 on Sanchez. Bottom of the 9th, 7-0 Rangers. Grounded foul. Mike Minor looking to pick up his 12th victory against 8 losses. Right now, the pitcher on the losing side is Masahiro Tanaka, who would go to 10-8 unless the Yankees rally here. And the 1-2. 2-2. And the pitch. Strike three. Sanchez down looking. The Yankees are down to their final out.
Reno setting up inside, and it's pretty much middle in, up in the strike zone at 99. I looked at the 6 walks coming in 13 innings. Expected him to kind of be all over the place, but he's right around the strike zone.
So here's Mike Ford. He ended yesterday's game with a home run. He's trying to continue this game.
Way off the plate, too. He's respecting that cut fastball in the inner half.
They try to go outside and miss 1-0, 100 miles an hour. That time they catch the outside corner, 1-1. They shift for Ford. 3 infielders on the right side. Center fielder DeShields plays a couple of steps toward left center. The 1-1. 1-2. Down to their final strike. And the pitch. And that got a piece of Ford.
Take a look and see where it got him. The cutter just kept coming inside, and it got that ankle protector on the right shin.
So he gets into the box and gives it another go. 1-2 count.
Well, do you go back in there with the cutter? You try to backdoor it off the plate away.
Line and over the head of a leaping Odor. A base hit for Ford. So Mike Ford keeps hope alive, and that'll bring up Luke Voit with a runner on first.
Mike Ford earned that base hit right there, taking a foul ball off his right ankle and just muscling a cutter into right field. Supposed to be away. His middle in keeps running in on his hands, and he just fights it off into right field.
So here's Voit. He is 1 for 3. He doubled in the 5th. Grounded up the middle, just over the bag. Odor fires to first, and that will do it as the Rangers shut out the Yankees by a score of 7-0. And the Yankee streak is over. 220 straight games scoring at least 1 run. Last time shut out against the Red Sox. So the record of the 1931 through 1933 Yankees is safe at 308 straight games without being shut out. And the Yankees have the 2nd longest record, but it will die at 220 straight games. Texas takes the game 7-0. We'll be back to wrap things up in just a moment.